The patrol cars were scattered along the rural highway shoulder, doors open, radios crackling, officers shouting over each other. 40 yards down the embankment, half hidden by brush and wet leaves, a sedan sat nose first in a drainage ditch. The driver's door was wide open. The engine was still ticking with heat. Deputy Laura Mendez pulled on gloves as she slid down the muddy slope. The smell hit first, copper and gasoline. Inside the vehicle, the front seats were soaked dark. The victim, a middle-aged male, was slumped sideways, seatbelt still fastened, throat cut so deeply it nearly reached the spine. No wallet. No phone. No defensive wounds visible from the angle. "Who found him?" she called out. "Off-duty called it in." A uniform answered from above. "One of ours." Laura looked up. Standing at the guardrail was Officer Daniel Harker, tall, composed, uniform perfect despite the drizzle. He held a paper cup of coffee like he'd stopped to watch construction, not a homicide scene. "He says he spotted the car on his way home," the uniform added. "Thought it was a drunk driver." Laura studied him for a moment. Harker didn't look down at the body. Most first finders couldn't look away. He didn't look at all. The victim was identified within the hour. Martin Kepler, a financial auditor for a regional contracting firm. No criminal record. Married. 2 kids. No obvious enemies. Which made the violence worse. Crimes of rage left mess. This was controlled. Efficient. Personal. No weapon at the scene. No tire tracks except the victim's. No sign of struggle outside the car. It was as if the killer had appeared inside the vehicle, done the job, and vanished. By morning, the case was handed to Major Crimes. Detective Aaron Cole arrived with a reputation for patience and an allergy to coincidence. He walked the ditch twice, then a third time slower, eyes scanning beyond the obvious. He noted the angle of the car, the mud pattern on the rear bumper, the thin line of diluted blood trailing beneath the chassis. "Engine running when found?" he asked. "Yes," Laura said. "Keys still in." Then he didn't plan to stop long. Or he trusted whoever asked him to. Cole glanced up toward the road, toward where Harker had stood. "Off-duty officer found him," Laura added. "Daniel Harker. 8 years on the force. Clean jacket." Cole gave a neutral nod. "Let's keep everyone clean until they're not." Kepler's autopsy complicated things. The cut was surgical in precision, left to right, single motion, deep enough to guarantee silence within seconds. The medical examiner estimated the blade length within half an inch. Not a kitchen knife. Not random. Someone who knew anatomy, or practiced. More interesting was what wasn't there: hesitation marks, jagged edges, repeated attempts. Just one committed stroke. "Whoever did this has done it before," the examiner said quietly. The victim's phone records showed a final outgoing call placed 10 minutes before estimated time of death. Duration: 11 seconds. The number belonged to a prepaid burner, now inactive. Traffic cams along the highway showed Kepler's car, but no vehicle following, no one pulling alongside. Nothing. At the station, the case board filled slowly. Photo. Timeline. Forensics pending. No suspects. Officer Daniel Harker stopped by with a box of donuts and a sympathetic frown. "Hell of a thing," he said. "Guy just trying to get home." Cole watched him set the box down. Harker's uniform sleeves were rolled exactly twice, edges aligned. Tiny detail. Military habit. "You knew the victim?" Cole asked. "Seen him around. Small town. You recognize faces. You approached the car? Close enough to see blood. Didn't touch anything." Cole nodded. "Good." Harker smiled, polite, measured, and left. Laura waited until he was gone. "You're staring." "I'm listening," Cole said. "To what?" "To what people don't ask." That afternoon, Kepler's wife revealed something new. 3 weeks earlier, her husband had mentioned being nervous about an internal audit, something about irregular billing tied to municipal supply purchases. He wouldn't say more. Said it involved someone with a badge. That phrase tightened the room. Internal Affairs was notified quietly. Lists were pulled, officers connected to procurement approvals, evidence lockups, surplus auctions. It was a short list. Daniel Harker's name appeared twice. Nothing criminal, just signatures. Routine authorizations. Still, Cole circled it. Day 3 brought a second body. This one was found behind a closed warehouse near the rail yard. Male. Early 30s. Hands bound with zip ties. Same throat wound. Same surgical precision. No ID on the body, but fingerprints matched a freelance IT contractor named Owen Lyle, subcontracted last month to upgrade department data servers. 2 victims, Laura said. Both connected indirectly to police infrastructure. Cole stared at the photos side by side. Same cut. Same depth. Same angle. Not indirectly, he said softly. Directly. Security footage from the warehouse district was partial, but one camera caught a patrol cruiser passing the block at 2:12 a.m. The timestamp matched estimated time of death within minutes. Unit number visible. Assigned vehicle, Officer Daniel Harker. Cole didn't celebrate. Patterns could lie. But patterns also spoke. They pulled Harker's GPS logs. The cruiser showed a brief signal dropout, 4 minutes, exactly when it passed the warehouse zone. Reported as a routine system glitch. Happens sometimes, but not often. Laura leaned back in her chair. You thinking what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, Cole said, that either someone is setting him up, or he's very comfortable near dead men. They requested Harker's body cam archive. Most of it was standard patrol footage, traffic stops, noise complaints, paperwork. Calm voice. Controlled posture. Textbook professionalism. Then they found a clip from 2 weeks earlier, flagged automatically for audio spike. A nighttime stop. Empty road. Harker approaching a driver window out of frame. His voice was different. Lower. Almost intimate. You should have answered the email, he said. The driver replied, nervous. I told you I sent the files. The audio cut to static. Video corrupted. Cole replayed it twice more. Evidence tech says corruption like that doesn't just happen, Laura said. File was altered. By someone with access, Cole replied. Inside. They moved fast after that. Quiet background, financials, off-record interviews. Harker's personnel file was spotless, but his past held a strange gap, 18 months between prior employment and police academy admission. Explained as private security contracting overseas. No details listed. No references reachable. Military databases returned nothing under his name. That's not normal, Laura said. No, Cole agreed. That's constructed. They obtained a warrant for metadata on Harker's home network. What came back froze the room. Encrypted traffic bursts. Regular intervals. Routed through foreign nodes, then wiped. Not browsing. Not streaming. Data transfer. Professional level. Cole stood slowly. We bring him in. On what charge? Not yet, Cole said. We talk first. They didn't get the chance. At 6:40 p.m., dispatch received a panic call from a storage facility on the edge of town. Screaming. Then silence. Units rolled. Cole and Laura arrived with the first wave. Inside locker B-17, they found blood, fresh, and a folding police restraint chair bolted to the concrete. Beside it sat a department-issue evidence knife, cleaned but not clean enough. Stamped on the handle was an inventory code. Assigned checkout, Officer Daniel Harker. But that wasn't what stopped Cole cold. It was the wall behind the chair. Because pinned there, in perfect rows, were printed photographs of every victim connected to the case, including one taken from inside the crime scene before it was publicly released. And at the center, larger than the rest, was a photo of Detective Aaron Cole walking into the station that morning. Someone inside the investigation was hunting the investigators. And they had police access to do it. The photo of Cole hadn't been taken by a street camera. It was too clean, too close, too deliberate, shot from across the bullpen through glass, slightly elevated, like the photographer knew exactly where to stand and how long to wait. No one spoke for several seconds inside storage locker B-17. The fluorescent light hummed overhead, turning the blood on the concrete into a dull black mirror. Laura finally exhaled. "He's not just ahead of us," she said. "He's inside our movement." Cole stepped closer to the wall, studying the arrangement. The victims' photos were organized by date, but also by role. Auditor, contractor, evidence clerk who had died in a supposed car accident last year, a case never flagged as suspicious. Cole recognized that one now. Same neck bandage in the crash photos. Same angle of injury. "This didn't start with Kepler," Cole said quietly. "We just noticed it with Kepler." Crime scene techs photographed everything. The restraint chair. The knife. The prints, wiped. The door lock showed no forced entry. Access logs revealed the unit had been rented under a fake name using a prepaid card. But the facility's vehicle camera caught something useful, a patrol cruiser entering the lot at 6:12 p.m. Harker's unit number. "Maybe he's being framed," Laura said, though the words sounded thinner now. "Maybe," Cole replied. "But whoever's framing him knows department inventory, evidence rotation, patrol timing, and our case list. That circle is very small. Internal. Very." They put out a quiet locate request for Harker, not an arrest warrant yet, just a welfare check. His radio was off. His cruiser GPS now showed active, moving, heading north out of town toward the state line. "Too clean," Cole said. "He wants us to see that." "Or wants us to follow," Laura answered. They rolled anyway. The highway stretched into dark forest, traffic thinning to nothing. Two unmarked units stayed a mile back while State Patrol staged farther ahead. The cruiser Ping slowed near an old service exit closed for construction. When they arrived, they found the patrol car parked neatly behind barricades, engine off, lights off, keys still in the tray. "Empty." "Footprints," a trooper called. Boot tracks led down a gravel slope into trees. Cole followed with a flashlight, beam cutting through branches. 50 yards in, they found a burner phone crushed under a rock, deliberately placed where it would be found. Inside its broken case was a folded paper strip. Not a message, coordinates. Laura checked the numbers on her phone. "That's inside city limits," she said. "Industrial grid." "Not running," Cole murmured. "Steering." Back at the command room, they mapped the coordinates. The point landed on a decommissioned records annex, a brick archive building the department stopped using years ago when files went digital. Minimal security. Badge access still functional for sworn officers. "Tell me that place was cleared when it closed," Cole said. Silence answered him. They rolled with a full team this time. The annex sat alone between a scrapyard and a fenced rail spur. Windows black. No visible movement. The entry reader flashed green on the first officer's badge. Access still live. Inside, the air was stale and paper dry. Rows of shelving stretched into darkness, stacked with old boxes, binders, evidence cartons awaiting destruction orders that never came. Their footsteps echoed too loudly. "Feels staged," Laura whispered. "Because it is," Cole said. They split into pairs. Cole and Laura moved down aisle C toward the coordinate marker. Halfway down, Cole's light caught a thin wire across the aisle at ankle height. "Stop." They froze. The wire led to a small device taped under a shelf, not an explosive, just a trigger attached to a camera flash and audio recorder. "He's logging reactions," Laura said. "Studying response," Cole corrected. "Training." They stepped over it carefully and continued. At the coordinate shelf they found a banker's box labeled, "Internal, Disciplinary, Sealed." Inside were copied complaint files, dozens, all involving evidence mishandling, seizure skimming, property room discrepancies. Names highlighted. Dates circled. Cross-referenced. A corruption map. "Blackmail," Laura said. "Leverage," Cole replied. "Insurance policy." Tucked beneath the files sat a department tablet, powered on, screen dark. Cole gloved up and tapped it. Video opened instantly. A live feed. The camera showed a small concrete room, somewhere else, with a single hanging bulb. In the center sat a man zip-tied to a chair, gagged, eyes wild with terror. Cole recognized him. Sergeant Wilkes, Assistant Evidence Supervisor. Missing since that morning. Quietly absent. Quietly ignored. The camera angle shifted slightly as if nudged. A figure stepped into frame behind Wilkes, face out of view, only uniform visible. Patrol uniform. The figure leaned down and whispered into Wilkes' ear. The mic didn't pick up words, only breath. Then the figure looked directly into the camera. Not Harker. Captain Ellis, shift commander. 22 years on the force. Cole's former mentor. Laura recoiled. No. Cole didn't move. On screen, Ellis held up a small whiteboard with handwritten text. You were never looking high enough. The feed cut. For a moment, the only sound in the annex was the hum of old wiring. Laura shook her head. That's fake. Has to be fake. Deep fake, pre-recorded, something. Maybe, Cole said, though his voice lacked conviction. But the tablet connected through our secure evidence network. That routing requires command credentials. Ellis. Or someone wearing his skin digitally. They rushed back to vehicles. Calls lit up command channels. Captain Ellis did not answer his phone. His home alarm showed armed. His department badge pinged active, inside headquarters. That's impossible, Laura said. He's either there or on that video. Unless, Cole said, starting the engine, this isn't about being in one place. Headquarters was chaos when they returned. Internal affairs sealed the captain's office. Ellis himself sat in an interview room, confused, angry, swearing he'd been at his desk reviewing budgets for 3 hours straight. Multiple officers confirmed seeing him. His uniform matched, but not perfectly. Cole noticed the sleeve roll, 3 folds, uneven. Harker's habit had been too precise. Small tells mattered. They pulled building camera footage. Ellis entered at 3:02 p.m., but never showed passing the metal detector. The frame skipped, 3 seconds of digital artifact. Loop splice, Tech said. Someone inserted a repeat segment. From where? Cole asked. Internal server. Laura's phone buzzed. Forensic update. She read it, went pale. The evidence knife from the storage locker, she said. Latent print under the cleaning residue. Cole waited. It's yours. He stared at her. That's impossible. Lab triple-checked. Cole felt the floor tilt. Chain of custody. Unbroken. He replayed the last 72 hours in his mind. Scenes, objects, surfaces, and found the gap. The first crime scene ditch, when he'd steadied himself on a patrol bumper reaching down. If someone transferred it, he said slowly, they needed access to my prints. Locker room. Desk. Coffee cup, Laura whispered. Inside. Before either could say more, every screen in the bullpen flickered. Then switched to a single video feed, the same concrete room from the tablet. Sergeant Wilkes still bound. Still alive. Crying now. A masked figure stepped into frame, this one fully covered. The voice came through clear. Detective Cole, it said calmly, you're closer than anyone has ever been. That makes you dangerous. It also makes you useful. Cole stepped toward the screen like it could hear him breathe. You want the location, the voice continued. You want the why. Come alone. Bring your service weapon. Leave your radio. Coordinates appeared beneath the image. Laura grabbed his arm. No. Absolutely not. Cole didn't look away from the screen. Because behind the masked figure, barely visible in the edge reflection of a steel cabinet, stood someone else, unmasked, watching the scene unfold. Officer Daniel Harker. Not captive. Smiling.